want a microphone. Morning. I just want a microphone. Morning. Take the mask off your face.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7 a.m. Welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you live here from the Port Mall in Scarborough. We're giving thanks for life after a great and enjoyable and restful weekend. I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago, good morning Trinidad, the Caribbean, and those of you viewing us on the live. Good morning, Julian. How are you today?
Good morning, Rhea. It's been a good weekend. Thank God for that. In terms of very relaxing, very enjoyable, and so on. A good time out.
Definitely.
I've been up on the north side, Rhea. I'm always out on some adventure.
Yes.
With the team, and I must say I was gently reminded of how chilly up on that end could be with the little drizzle.
The air is rare over there.
But quite nice at that. And I was particularly pleased in terms of to be able to engage one of our loyal viewers and supporters in terms of Tobago updates. Being able to meet people while on the north side. But I'll leave that until we get into the birthday greetings, Rhea. Rhea, I see we have a big meeting happening today in Tobago in the news.
That's right, and I'm really happy to see that, the Prime Minister is taking showing the way forward. I'm always happy whenever the leaders in Tobago can meet with the leaders in Trinidad, because this is Trinidad and Tobago, and too often we feel as though there is some type of segregation.
Correct.
So
and it's nice that this meeting now extends to connect, as far as we understand from the release, ministers, cabinet ministers will be joining these discussions, as well as secretaries within the Tobago House of Assembly, as the Prime Minister and the Chief Secretary and their respective teams meet today. So we look forward to certainly the productive outcome from that meeting. And pleasing at that to know the Chief Secretary and his entire contingent of secretaries didn't have to fly over to Trinidad for this meeting. My understanding is that the meeting is happening right here in Tobago.
Well, and let me tell you, I know government ministers are always excited to be in Tobago.
Certainly. Beautiful indeed. Rhea, I understand that we have Candice on the line with us this morning. She's joining us in the opening here. Candice? Candice, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Julian. Good morning, Rhea. And of course, good morning, Tobago and the rest of the world. Right, I am here at the Mason Hall Secondary School, where we are getting prepared for a conversation with the principal of Mason Hall Secondary, Ms. Suan Dumas, where we are going to be speaking to you about the preparations for school to reopen. Now, we know that there's been lots of concerns from parents and from teachers about whether or not things are ready for Forms 1 to 3 students to be back out to school. So we chose Mason Hall this morning, so we're going to tell you a bit about it. So stay tuned. Julian, it's back to you.
Nice, Candice. Candice, I love the way how you transition from shorts to suits with ease.
Gotta do everything, man. Gotta be prepared for anything.
Yes, Rhea, so certainly, and sending that signal to us today is also the reopening. It's first to third form today.
First to third form.
And I think standard 5s are also going to be out.
Standard 5. So on our way down this morning, when we got to the Caller Hall traffic lights, the bus that takes Goodwood High and I think some of Speyside High eastward was already there. I saw some children who were already there waiting, and I saw some running to get the bus. Unfortunately, the bus pulled off before. Sorry, but the thing is with these buses, you've got to be on time. But what I'm happy about, Julian, is that there are first and second formers who are going out to school for the very first time today to their new secondary schools.
Yes.
So they are excited. I saw one of my friends posted on her status very early this morning that her daughter woke her up just around minutes to 1 this morning and told her, "Mommy, it's time to get up. It's time to get ready for school." So there's some level of anxiety, I think, on both on the parts of both parents and students. So I'm saying here, whatever you do today, parents, give it your best. Ensure that they have their necessities safety packs with their sanitizers, their lotions, their wipes and tissues and everything that you know that they need to have.
Certainly, Rhea.
Remind them to keep the mask on.
That takes us right on into our rundown this morning. You know, first, who do we have first on the lineup? The big man himself in Tobago for tutor. What's his name again?
Right, Mr. Braden Roberts is going to be on the program coming up first to kick us off with the reopening of schools for Standard 5 and Forms 1 to 3. In fact, not even the reopening, but face-to-face school for these groups.
And this morning, we'd also have the opportunity to chat with Assemblyman Pastor Terence Baines. And he's speaking to us about an upcoming initiative, Thanksgiving, that takes place on Friday of this week for the Division of Community Development, Youth Affairs and Sports. So we look forward to that discussion with Assemblyman Terence Baines. And then we have another teacher in the mix this morning, celebrating outstanding work. And I know Rhea said, when we spoke about those achievements a week or two ago, I want to have the teacher on to hear what's going on. So this morning we'll also be chatting with Anthony Blackman, theatre arts educator at Signal Hill Secondary School, and she'll be speaking about Signal Hill Secondary School students on the merit list. And you know, that's a worthy kind of achievement that we want to encourage our young people with, and the timing is very fitting as Signal Hill just celebrated their anniversary here in the Tobago space. And who else do we have on the lineup? Who's the...
And then we go over to Rona Eastman Jack, and Rona is she is not just a designer, but she also created a very special ruler. A very special ruler that she'll tell us more about. And I think I remember having an interview with her at another time, another space, many years ago. So she is her profession is seamstress and entrepreneur.
Yes, Rhea, definitely. And we want to get into our birthday shout-outs this morning, Rhea, before we miss it any at all. Who do we have up first? Rhea, that's a beautiful background. We chat about that a little later on.
Definitely.
That's Kerry?
I feel as though I'm at the beach. Yeah, it's Kerry again.
Certainly, Kerry Walcott doing amazing work there. In terms of our background, I think this one, is it Little Tobago?
This is not Little No Man's Land.
No, not Little Tobago, No Man's Land. No Man's Land.
Yeah.
It seems like I just ran up to the east, having spent some time on the north side this weekend.
But just know that all beautiful backgrounds are not east. So we spread them out, you know. So coming up, birthday celebrations this morning. This lovely lady, she's known throughout Tobago as Nurse Ellis. This is Cynthia Wills celebrating her birthday today. This is the mother of Leslie Ann Ellis. Let me see if I got all the names right. Leslie Ann, and Junior. I'm not going to forget Junior this morning. Llewellyn, yes. She made sure, she told me, she said, Rhea, this was supposed to be your mother-in-law. Leslie Ann, I'm putting you on blast this morning, yes. She said this was supposed to be my mother-in-law because many years ago. I'll leave it there, Leslie Ann. All right.
Sit easy, Oswald. You're safe.
He is, definitely. So this is the mother of Nadine Leslie Ann Llewellyn Ellis. This is happy birthday going out to you this morning from your children, your 11 grandchildren, and 12 great-grands. And they said to tell you that they love you to the moon and back. Aww. And these are her gorgeous children standing there with her in blue. Wow, they all look like sisters and brothers.
Happy birthday, Mommy Ellis. First on our lineup here this morning for a Tobago update. And I'm also sending out birthday greetings. Rhea, this is my lovely cousin here in the mix. Stachel Skeet this morning. Want to wish you a happy birthday. Stachel celebrated yesterday, but we're taking the opportunity this morning to wish Stachel a happy birthday today, coming from the entire Skeet family, Stachel, and the Tobago updates. We trust that you'll continue to have fun. I had to drop in this throwback in the mix. You know, I'm miserable when I find those photos, Stachel. That's back to about 2016. Really, you see how I look the same?
You
If I had only found that shirt as well. Good morning again. And this morning I also want to do a shout out to this lovely young lady where I met her in terms of service work, 16, 17, 18 in the days of Interact. Exceptional, currently at university, and I really want to send out birthday greetings and shout out this morning to Afia Muir. Afia Muir, do enjoy. And again, Afia also celebrated yesterday. We're wishing her a happy birthday coming from the Tobago Updates family.
All right, so quite an interesting program today.
Andrea, there's one more birthday I've got to add in the mix. Remember I told you about the north side, having visited. I had the opportunity while up there connecting, you know, as we were at the site, spend my family, we out there, to meet Ecliffe Eli. you know, the designer himself enjoying his birthday celebration weekend in Tobago. So we had a little conversation, designer to host.
I thought you were going to say designer to designer.
No, not at all. I'm not in that field at all. But I definitely want to send out birthday greetings to Ecliff, Eli, and to thank you for selecting and choosing Tobago to enjoy your birthday celebrations here with us. And we trust that, you know, feel free to come and visit us anytime. Tobago is the place to be. All right?
It would have been so good to have had him on the program this morning. But you never know.
We'll have to make that arrangement. Probably I'll make that connection after our conversation.
All right. Okay.
All right. So, and viewer, I see some comments coming in. Julian, the color of that jacket is really soothing on the eyes. Love it. Thank you very much to the person that selected it for me this morning. and Ria, this is the point where I might sip on something.
Yeah, we can afford to sip on something.
Fill my cup and let it overflow.
That's right. So our cups this morning, courtesy Creative Signs. We want to say thank you this morning to Creative Signs. Yeah, see that? Ria's cup, Julian's cup. You never know who else might be getting a cup. All right.
All right,
So
viewers, we want to thank all of you joining us on TV, those of you joining us online, and to remind you, remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Oh gosh, man, your belly. Oh gosh, oh gosh, man, your belly. Oh gosh, man, your belly. Man, your belly. Madness. Oh gosh. Yes, my brother. Burn your belly.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:12 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. As we go into this segment, we want to remind you, yes, you saw the advert correct. On Wednesday, this Wednesday at 8 p.m., we will officially be having the Boo Boo Awards coming here live from our Tobago Update studio, hosted by Cassandra. So we look forward to that event. Remember to tune in on Wednesday at 8 p.m. following on newscast from 7:30 p.m. So we're going to have you connected here on the Tobago Update so that we ensure you get all the information live here from one station, and that's the Tobago Updates, giving you the information and feedback. So we want to invite you, make sure to tune in to our Facebook page on Wednesday, 7:30 for news and 8 p.m. for the Boo Boo Awards, coming to you here live. And in this segment, we are chatting with Braden Roberts, no stranger to our studios here at Tobago Updates, tutor Tobago officer. And today is a big day for things happening in school. Braden, tell us what's happening today for our students.
Yeah, first of all, good morning, and good morning to the viewers. Well, today hopefully we are having more of our teachers and more of our students going out, hopefully less nervous. I would not want to raise their anxiety this morning, but more so to address some of the concerns that we would have at this time.
All right. Tell us a little bit, Breeden, in relation to what's the experience been like in relation to, we would have had 4 to 6 formers out. This would have been their second term that they would have been on the school plant. We're now facing a situation where standard 5, as far as I understand it, and first to third formers are heading back out. In the case of standard 5, I'm a little easier or a little more comfortable for the fact that the school plant has enough space because the rest of the school isn't out as yet. What's the feeling of tutors specific to the fact that first to third formers are now joining the rest of the high school population? What adjustments have been made to ensure that classroom, we can maintain the kind of social distancing and those other relevant areas for the COVID-19 protocols?
All right, well, to my disappointment, very little has been done in terms of the secondary schools and specifically the primary schools. As I said, I don't want to waste much of the anxiety this morning. So there are some of the protocols, and you mentioned the primary schools where there is more space because there's less students coming out, but that is also a hazard, as there is more space for children to roam with the one standard 5 teacher and the principal on the compound. So that aside, there are plumbing issues in majority of the primary schools that have not yet been addressed. There are lighting issues as well. Throughout my time in the media and so forth, my focus has always been on the infrastructure of the school. Once schools are ready, persons can come out. For the principals in the secondary schools, they had a bit of a shell shock. They had stakeholders meeting with the secretaries. I was a part of that meeting. They presented ways, although they would have called and complained to me, they would have presented ways to the secretaries how they can make the system work. They were applauded for their bravery in putting forward systems, only to be shut down 2 days after, stating where they were informed that those systems that they have proposed are not approved, and they are only to follow what the division have asked them to do. So they have that little bit of chaos with the staff, trying to make the system work.
So in cases like that, who is responsible? Is it the principal in terms of making the necessary arrangements at their respective plants or reporting it on time, etc.? Or is the issue that the division has not done the requisite follow-up in terms of ensuring that we have met these commitments? Is it that we have financial challenge? What is causing these kinds of kickbacks after so long?
Well, you listed all of them. First of all, they are leaving principals on their own to assess their plant. That's not their technical field. We have been clamoring at the division so that they will send PIU officers. They can liaise with persons at DIQ, UD, I believe it's now, to visit schools, help principals in doing that assessment. But it's up to principals only. There were instances where PIU officers went out, but because they got too many issues with little funds, they reverted to what the principals submitted. So that's one, principals and what they submit to the division. They submit these things so often, and the excuse provided by the division is always that of funding. But management would allow for the infrastructural issues not to be so dire. They pick and choose which schools and what issues to treat with. The other issues will not be waiting there standstill until you find the money. So I don't think over the years they have been advocating strongly enough to treat with education in Tobago. Overall, in terms of managing the system, the supervisors will give the go-ahead as to how they operate. As I said, they would have indicated in the meeting that they had that they would have presented pretty well, only to be shut down 2 days after.
That's interesting, and you made mention of the fact in terms of over the years. We have a new administration in place, a new secretary, new assistant secretary, and the question I want to put forward, is it that we are seeing a case that we have new heads, persons at the helm, but we're still managing systems that are not working for us? So ultimately it means we need to make changes within the hardcore functions of the operations of the education system. What are your recommendations from tutor?
Well, you are making my interview very easy as you are hitting the topic exact. Yes, I empathize with the new secretaries. They are now learning that they are meeting a system that needs fixing, and then it's a culture, so it would not be an overnight fix. There are persons lower down as we meet with the administrator. I'd always say to the administrator, I understand, but ultimately she's responsible for the division, the operation of the division. But there would be persons who would need to do their duties who are, well, I would say, sleeping on the job. procuring furniture for schools, that is something very significant. Sometimes you go to meetings and the updates, there would have been some kink in the system. We cannot afford such in education. Any gap in education will have a ripple effect, and it's time that persons in the division step up. The secretaries, as I would have indicated, they are aware what they need to treat with. However, we have given upward of 2 months. It's time for us to see some of the actions to help change it. It will not be an overnight fix, as I said, but at least if we could see some actions where they are heading in the right direction, it will be a little more comforting.
We're already diving into the second term for the school year in terms of 2021, 2022. As we look to wrap this morning's interview, tell us, what are you proposing from the standpoint of tutors so as to ensure, Braden, by the time we're chatting with you in a month from now, in 2 months from now, we are not facing these similar challenges that we seem to hear at the start of every school term?
Well, actually, I'm hoping that tutor and the minister could somehow hit reset and be big boys and girls where we can have proper consultation. What is happening now is forcing a divide. Tutor at this time is making a stance that once we go to schools, there will be no online engagement. It's not that we don't want to embrace online, but when the employer throws these things at us, there will be no control. So there are persons who are drowning now with the online and the hybrid. There are persons who are enjoying it, enhancing their lessons because it suits their style. But these things need to be negotiated for. So at this time, because the employers don't want to listen, we have to preserve the health of our members. So you go out to school physical, you are doing physical engagement only, because some of our members are not coping well, and we must be able to cater for all.
If the necessary resources are provided, are you in support as well of also doing the physical and virtual classes within the school space if teachers are provided with the resources?
Resources as well as negotiating the terms. And why I said negotiating the terms, we have seen some unreasonable demands by some principals. There are teachers who may be home and they have a device failure or internet goes. The principal is not in that space. So is it that you are to just openly trust a teacher every time they call to say that their device is down? Some principals are asking teachers to apply for that day. There are teachers who are going to school for a morning period, but because the school don't have internet, they are running home to do the online. They don't get home on time. They have to apply for the evening period.
Disbelief with that, Braden.
So, no. So now remember, it's a human aspect now, eh? And if parameters are not set, there will be all sorts of interpretations. There are some bizarre interpretations by some of our principals. We know that they have supervisors breathing down their throat as well. So if we have these terms negotiated, it would ease the confusion and the stresses faced by many of our teachers.
It seems like there's a critical need for discussions between tutor and the government in relation to policies that speak to virtual as well as a face-to-face happening, in synergy within the environment to the benefit. Thank you very much for joining us on set here this morning, Braden. And we look forward most definitely to hearing of improvements in our school system, courtesy both the Tobago House of Assembly, the government, and of course, tutor making that representation to ensure that we derive maximum benefit. Because at the end of the day, if all our efforts do not benefit our students, ultimately, we are wasting time. All right, folks, so we want to thank Braden Roberts again, Tutor Tobago Officer, for joining us here in this segment this morning. Viewers, we want to remind all of you on the live, thank you for your continued love and support. Those of you joining us via Gael the channel, M&E TV, online, TobagoUpdates.com, YouTube via Tobago Updates, as well as those of you joining us on Facebook. Feel free to connect with us. Thank you so much for the love and support. We want to remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards to our
Welcome to
top
Tobago
story.
Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains when
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Speyside marine
in Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion
Roxborough
Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window
Still find
at the islands
treasures like the golden
continue
waterfall.
to rise in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:25 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. We're coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, we are chatting with Assemblyman Pastor Terence Baines, Secretary with responsibility for the Division of Community Development, Youth Affairs and Sport within the Tobago House of Assembly. Good morning to you. Morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Looking sharp as ever, folks. And you see the camera going into him here. This morning, we are chatting about upcoming Thanksgiving service that takes place on Friday for the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. But just before we dive into that, you know, on the current hustings, we have heard of the meeting that takes place today between the Prime Minister, the Chief Secretary, and ministers and secretaries. What are your thoughts and your hopes in that direction for today's meeting?
Well, I mean, I am a perennial optimist, you know, and I think that is a good thing. You know, it is part of the requirement for decent governance in both places, and so I am glad, I am encouraged that the Prime Minister is taking these initiatives and so on, and so I believe that we can accomplish so much more by dialogue. You know, we've had a history of grandstanding over the years, so if this is a new paradigm, I'm sure we welcome it.
Right, excellent. So we look forward, and we'll certainly be hearing of some of the outcome of that following today's meeting. So as we zone into our focus this morning, it's about let's give thanks. Let us give thanks. Tell us about that initiative carded for Friday, the 11th of February.
Well, everybody know I am a Christian man, and I give God thanks for everything that happens in my life personally. I am in the Tobago space, and I'm making my contribution from that standpoint, and I believe that giving thanks for where we are at this point is of paramount importance for the division, the work that the divisions have been doing over the years. And so, notwithstanding, we are not trying to reinvent the wheel now. The division has Community Development Week every year, and part of one of the activities is a Thanksgiving service. So we're not trying to duplicate that. Just that this season we're in a new era, you know, a new governance landscape, as it were, and I am appreciative for what the staff has been doing in these divisions and so on, and we just want to give thanks. We want to pray for them, and because everybody needs some divine intervention every now and again, and I think that this is a very good thing.
All right, so this takes place from what time on Friday?
It begins at 9 a.m. and we're going to run for an hour and a half, and of course we follow all the COVID protocols over there at the auditorium at Community Development on Montessori Drive in Glen Road. We are trying to have like about 60 persons in the facility, and then we're going to stream all over the various divisions and stream wherever else for any or everybody who wants to be a part of the event.
All right, so of course, you know, persons would ask, a division like community development, youth development and sports touch a wide cross-section of Tobago. You either live in a community, you are a young person, or you're involved in sport.
Indeed.
One out of the three. Tell us about the encouragement for our stakeholders as well, and Tobago to also see the need to join in to celebrate with the division.
Well, sure. I mean, before we say anything, we have to be thankful for life. You understand? And we have a whole lot of issues, we have a whole lot of challenges. Listening to the interview just a while ago about kids going out to school this morning and that kind of thing. We have to be thankful that we have an opportunity to go out to school. You understand? While we may not have perfection in everything that we're trying to do, but we have to be thankful for what we have, and we will work. God will help us to get to where we're trying to get to. So the strength that we get to do whatever we need to do, that comes from the Creator. And so therefore I think that if we start there, because he gives insight, you know, he gives insight, he helps us with ideas, he puts people in place to assist us with our mandate and so on. So I think that it is important, it is noble, if I dare say, to be thankful. You understand? There is so much negative around the COVID fallout. We continue to lament what that is doing to the society. It's good for us to have some optimism. It is good for us to look to God to assist us where divine intervention is necessary, and I believe we're going to get there.
All right, and I see we have on the lineup, tell us a little bit, two speakers featured here, guest music minister Janicia Sintile and remarks by Deputy Chief Secretary Mr. Watson Duke. Tell us about both individuals on the program.
Well, the choice of Miss Sintile is a guest music minister, and that choice is a little personal, in the sense that back in, I believe it could be about February, in that 6/6 situation, there was a particular day I was so down and out, and I was listening to the radio, and this song came on the radio, and I was wondering, that song did so much for me. I listened to that song for the entire day. And so I always said, any opportunity I have to have this lady come and sing this song. So this is a kind of personal thing that I'm imposing on everybody else. You understand?
Or sharing.
Sharing. But she is an exceptional artist as well. So I know that she is going to be a blessing to whoever is going to be a part of this session. And of course, we are asked for the Chief Secretary to share his sentiments and so on by virtue of his office and so on. And he could not make it, so we have been afforded the luxury of the deputy. And we are very happy to have him and so on. And so it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
So what else can persons look forward to on the lineup for this hour and a half? Anything else you want to reveal here? Now I need to let our viewers know that the show on Friday will be coming to you live from the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport out there in Glen Road. All right? And by the time the show ends, it will be straight into, we also want you to log back on at 9 a.m. because it will be going live here from Tobago Updates. I just thought I needed to put that in.
Yes, and I have to say that I am jumping up and down inside for the decision of Tobago Updates to host the morning show at the division. We feel very, very special. We feel like people.
Who knows? You may even get a cup presented.
I'm telling you, I've been noticing that.
I don't want to call names for Ria to get upset, but carry on, Pastor.
I have been lamenting. I understand the Chief Secretary, by virtue of his office, he needs to get special treatment and so on. But I saw some other persons, lesser mortals that had outside tea and all that kind of stuff, and I spoke to management and they haven't taken me on at all. But we will see. The Lord will help us on Friday.
Definitely. One of the things I want you to use the opportunity to speak to is, some people say that, this Christian rooting and this belief in God is one of the things that has really allowed Tobago to overcome challenges, Tobago to strive, and that's been over the years as Tobagonians, no matter where we are in the world. Speak to us about, how important this becomes in terms of getting back to that point, where we recognize the importance of giving thanks and really believing and having faith.
Right. Well, I mean, we should not impose on people. People have different belief systems and so on. And I speak from experience. I've been walking this life for 35 years. I've seen what God has done for me, what God has done for people. And most people have to conclude, whether they believe as I do or not, that God have assisted them in some way, shape or form. And I think it can't hurt you just to be thankful to God. I mean, we're not asking you to do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You understand what I'm saying? And notwithstanding as well that Tobago has a rich history of an acknowledgement of the supreme God and creator. So I think that we are in a good place, and we need to give thanks. And if the takeaway, I hope, from that event is that people will come to the place where Thanksgiving will become a part of your lifestyle rather than an event from time to time.
All right,
Yes,
excellent. Thank you very much,
Yes,
Assemblyman Pastor Terence Bates. And we want to remind all of viewers, let's give thanks. A Thanksgiving service for the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport takes place on Friday. So ensure that you log into Tobago Updates. It starts at 9 a.m. on Friday. Viewers, we head into the next segment with Candice Jackson up there at Mason Hall. Candice?
We can do it quick. Hi, good morning, Julian, and thanks for passing me through here. Now we're going to be really quick because the rain is starting to come down. But we're here with the principal of Mason Hall Secondary, Miss Suan Dimas, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what's in place for students as they come in. So, Ms. Dimas, what is the process like as students come in the gates this morning?
Good morning. Students, when they come in this morning, they will meet up on the security booth. Before they are attended to, they are to wash their hands by the sinks. Then they dry hands and they sanitize, which is what we are supposed to do every time. And then they write their names in the books. Then they proceed up to the classrooms. Now, on their way to the classrooms, there are machines also there for sanitizing. And throughout the day, we will continue to do sanitizing at every moment that the children are in and out of classrooms. Classrooms are set. We will have sessions this morning with the safety officers, form teachers, and year coordinators to ensure that the children know what are the safety protocols that we will practice while we are on the compound at all times. So the first session this morning, instead of having normal teaching classes for the first hour, we have that session of meet, greet, and also know your school, but also to make students be aware of what sanitization protocols are in place for safety and health protocols on the school compound.
I know a lot of parents are very concerned about letting their kids come back to school because of the pandemic. And how can you alleviate some of those concerns and those fears to assure them that, you guys are doing the best possible to make sure that the students are safe?
What I can say to parents is this. I also have a child going out to first form this morning at another school. But here, what I have made sure is that parents can even visit to see at times what we have in place. This morning, I would tell you that after we have the required sessions with the students, it will be done throughout every day. They have homeroom when they are on the compound. We are going to also make sure that we have proper management, meaning the middle managers, the year coordinators, and form teachers monitor to ensure that the children remain safe. They will be allowed to eat in their classrooms and maintain the social distancing that is required throughout the day, even when they have lunch, break time, and class time. So parents, I would say to you that let the children come out. They will be taken care of and they will be monitored to ensure that there is safety.
All right, viewers, well, we have to leave it right there because the rain is coming down on us, but we'll go to a break very quickly, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Oh gosh, burn your belly. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, burn your belly. Oh gosh, burn your belly. Burn your belly. Madness. Oh gosh. Yes, my brother. Burn your belly.
Good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 23410715. God bless you.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Okay. Can you hear me now? My apologies there, viewers. So welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates morning show. And we continue our discussion with Miss Anthony Blackman, who is a theatre arts educator attached to Signal Hill Secondary School. And this morning, the focus is on the students attached to the school who are on the merit list. Good morning and welcome to Miss Blackman.
Thank you for having me here. Good morning.
And congratulations to you and your students.
Thank you.
Now, viewers, let me put it out there. Miss Blackman said to me, Miss Blackman said to me this morning, okay. Ms. Blackman said to me this morning that, you know, she wants to keep the focus on her students. It's all about her students. She said to me as she came into the studio this morning, Rhea, take the focus off of me and keep it on my students. So that's what we're going to try to do that this morning. Although we know that a lot of hard work would have gone on in the background. Now, Ms. Blackman, tell us this morning, now we're looking at a list here. From CXC 2021, how many students attached to Signal Hill made it on the merit list?
7. One student was able to be placed on 2 subject areas.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 in performing arts, 3 in visual arts, and 1 in BMed.
And I have to say
2 in BMed, but 1 person was able to be in visual arts and BMed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you, to the other teachers, and well, to your students, to the students who made it possible to, you know, allow the school to be placed on the map yet again. All right, so tell us how you feel this morning. And we get into your students. How do you feel? I mean, and this is during a pandemic. I know it was tough.
First of all, I feel overwhelmed. And I feel proud to be a member of Signal Hill Secondary School and to also be among other teachers who was able to allow students from our school to go in other subject areas as well.
All right. Yeah. Now, what sort of challenges did you have? Because like I said, this was teaching during a pandemic. This was virtual at first for some time, and then face-to-face as things grew closer.
Well, I could only speak for myself. This was the most overwhelming teaching year I've ever had.
And how many years have you been in
This is my 11th year of teaching.
And this was the most
overwhelming one. Because, of course, apart from teaching the syllabus, I have CXC deadlines to meet.
Right.
And when it comes to theatre arts and performing arts, because I had a 5th form class and a 6th form class at the same time, that there's practical exams. So for CXC practical exam is 60% of their marks. And for performing arts SCAPE, it is 70% of their marks. So it is every time that they come to work with the students that I am in examination mode. So it was overwhelming based on the time period that was given to me to execute the amount of work that I had to do with the students.
Okay, and I believe we do have your students on the line. Yeah, we've got them on the line. Good morning. Am I seeing ladies? Yes, good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to ladies.
Good morning.
Okay, I guess they're going to get that up and running. I want to say congratulations to you ladies at this time. And I'll start, you know, we want to have an idea very quickly here of what what was some of the challenges there for you. We can probably start with, we have Chelsea Price, who is third place. Which one? Who's Chelsea? Chelsea, where are you?
Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea. Congratulations to you. And we also have Amaya Yates, third place.
Yes.
Where's Amaya?
Hi.
Hi,
I
Amaya.
am
Congratulations. And we also have Amber Mayhew, seventh place. Right, there you are. Congratulations to you. So let me ask you very quickly here. Let's start with you, Chelsea Price. Chelsea, what was the experience like for you doing all of this during a pandemic?
As Miss said, it was overwhelming. However, I always had a love for performing arts and for culture, and knowing the persons who I had in my corner, like my extremely supportive teachers, my colleagues, we always were hand in hand with one another. So for that reason, it didn't really feel like work majority of the time. It was more of an experience and it was nostalgic.
Let's chat here with Amaya. Amaya, what was the experience like for you?
It was, as Chelsea and Miss Blackman both said, overwhelming, and I believe that it wasn't as bad as it would have been if we didn't have a teacher like Miss Blackman, because she made us feel comfortable and she made the journey smoother than it would have been. That I believe it would have been if it was if we didn't have the support that she was giving us.
Okay, happy to hear. And Amber Mayhew. Amber, tell us what your experience was like.
Pleasant morning, everyone. The experience for me was overwhelming, but I had an added bonus of overwhelmness because I came into the school a little late, so I had a lot of catching up to do. And with the internship, I had a lot of time to make up, as in the hours I needed to make up was not as they started, and my and Chelsea would have started the term before. Were getting the hours now. I now play catch up and do extra work in order to make it and make the time. And that and all was a mental toll because it's not only just performing arts. I had to catch up on. I had to catch up on the other subject areas that I was doing as well, and just coming to school in the drama room at that time. Until now, it's just after all this stress, just these areas just more made me at ease. Performing arts and but drama on a whole is something that I like and I would like to, I want to pursue a career in acting, and just coming into this space, meeting Chelsea and Amaya and the other students kind of helped me with that pressure that was happening mentally. And for the radio drama and all, it was pandemic and transitioning from being physical, the few times that they would have let us on the compound, and then we have to move to being in our space doing this radio drama, yelling at a computer, you're on a computer hours on end, and it was just so much mentally. And the way Miss Blackman and Miss Berkeley and even with Akel Charles, how they would have went on helping us, it was just it was easy, but not as easy to say that's a breeze. Ones work best under pressure, and we became diamonds. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you. I hear what you say there, my girl. I hear what you say there, Amber. But yeah, the proof is in the pudding. You see, the hard work is paying off today. Amber, congratulations going out to you this morning from Julian Skeet. He sends a special congratulations to you. A hello. And is it a virtual hug, Julian? Yes. A virtual hug. A virtual hug over to you there. All right. So, Ms. Blackman, back to you here. Who are the other persons? Because I heard Amber talking there a while ago about she mentioned other names. Who was the support team?
Okay, so first of all, the way that the syllabus is lined up, it forces the students to make sure and work with knowledge bearers, as we call it, persons who know the craft, who will have helped to develop our craft that we have. So, as I said before, the exams, the practical exams is out of 30%, 70%. So for their first exams, the students have to do a 6-week internship with a knowledge bearer. That is what was most overwhelming about it, because remember the government said nobody is to be on the school compound, all community centers closed, and to learn a dance would be kind of difficult online. Right, good. So we have, for those areas, it was 5 students that I have had. Miss Karen Berkeley would have assisted, Miss Miriam Scott, and Mr. Perrin Frank, who assisted the young boys who was excited to come to school and play drums, and Brother Resistance will have helped as well.
Do you have boys involved in theatre arts in the area of dance?
Not in the area of dance. They will want to play the drums in majority. Yes, and dance is now about to develop at the school, because recently we had a dance teacher installed in our school, Miss Sherwell Williams. So most likely, I know that she has the ability to get boys and girls involved in dance. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Blackman, for being on the program with us, and congratulations again to your students.
Thank you.
And to the Signal Hill Secondary School. I think they deserve a round of applause in studio. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Well, viewers, we're going to leave it there, but we go over right now to This Day in Tobago History with Devon Adana.
Tobago history. Did you know that on February 7th, 1925, Tobago's first black representative gets elected to the Legislative Council in Trinidad and Tobago's first national election? According to Wikipedia, 97 years ago today, James Alpheus Alexander Bigot, Tobago's first black pharmacist, campaigned and beat the Trinidad Working Men's Association candidate Isaac Hope to secure representation for Tobago on the Legislative Council. The council was an advisory commission to the governor in then British-ruled Trinidad and Tobago. In 1925, the Legislative Council was expanded from 21 to 25 members to also include 7 elected members, with one of those elected members being able to represent Tobago. This gave Tobago its first elected representative since 1877, which was before Crown Colony government had been instituted. Voting in the 1925 election was limited to literate men 21 or older who also had to meet a property and income requirement. The requirement for the candidates was even stricter. Only 5.9% of the entire Trinidad and Tobago population were eligible to vote. And in Tobago, 547 out of the eligible 1,800 voted. Bigot contested the election as an independent candidate running against the Labour-endorsed candidate Isaac Abernott Hope, who was supported by Trinidad hero Captain Arthur Andrew Cipriani and the Trinidad Working Men's Association. In his campaign, Bigot promised infrastructural improvements, including an extension to the Scarborough Jetty, the construction of a new jetty at Roxborough, the construction of a secondary school in Tobago, and the establishment of a daily transportation link between Tobago and Trinidad. The representatives elected in Trinidad for the remaining 7 positions on the council at the 1925 election were Saran Tiloxing winning the Caroni seat, Charles Henry Pierre for the Eastern Counties, Captain Cipriani winning Port of Spain, Albert Victor Stallmeyer for St. George County, Ernest Radcliffe Clark for St. Patrick County, and Victoria County going to Thomas Meade Kelshall. Cipriani, Pierre, and Kelshall were all heavily supported by the Trinidad Working Men's Association. This has been This Day in Tobago History. My name is Devon Adana. Lots more after the break. Be sure to share the live, share the live, share the live.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards.
Welcome to Tobago Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms
and remains.
The public is
nobody lives here.
Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Speyside marine
In Tobago fishermen,
When will the
Sion
Roxborough
Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window
Still find
as islands
treasures like the golden
continue to
waterfall.
rise in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. On our program this morning, we're chatting with Rona Eastman Jack, and she is she's a seamstress and entrepreneur. And this morning, we're talking about the U-Dazzle fashion ruler. Good morning and welcome to you, Mrs.
Good
Jack.
morning, Miss Pia. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you on the Tobago Updates morning show. I know we would have chatted a long time ago in a different space. Back then, the the U-Dazzle fashion ruler did not look like that. But we're going to get into that in a little bit. But viewers, I want to show you something here. Mrs. Jack brought this book. She brought this book on set. And she'll tell you a very quick story behind this book. Now, if you look at it, you can see that it has some age on it. But the information, I'm sure, inside of it still holds true. Tell us about this book. What's the story behind this book?
I'm from Palatovier, and my mother used to like to sew. So I learned to sew from her. And there was a competition in the primary school. It was a national competition, and I won special prize for needlework at primary school at 10 years old.
And this was the book that was the prize?
That was the prize from
Kirpalanis. No, you're calling a name here. There's a generation out there that has no clue what you're talking about.
Kirpalanis is.
Okay, courtesy Kirpalanis. Now, the name of the book is My Learn to Sew book. Back then, who were you exposed to that was sewing?
My mother and my cousin Sheila Wallace.
Okay, so they were, well, of course your mother, but your cousin was older than you were.
Yes, she taught at Scarborough Sec.
Okay.
And she was a seamstress. She put up brides, and we used to go there to spend holidays. And every time I go there to spend holidays, I was fascinated by her. And I said, I want to become a seamstress.
Now, what prompted this ruler, this special ruler?
While going to sewing class, doing drapery class, I noticed that every day, because it was every day, like 4 days a week, I have to tote these long rulers, and the rulers always sagging in the bag. And I said, you know what? There must be another way. So I thought about inventing this ruler that can fold. The concept came from the carpentry ruler.
Right.
How that my father had it and he used to fold up. So I decided, I said, there must be a way that I could make a ruler that has all the components that can fold. So I went home and I took different rulers, put them together, you know, staggered them. How can this work? And then I folded it and drew it, folded, put it in a drawer for 9 years.
For 9 years?
9 years.
You drew it, put it together?
Yes, I went to an engineer, Otto Isaac, to get it drawn. And he told me that it needs to be patent. And because of the amount of money it would have cost to patent it, I didn't have the money. So he told me, show it to no one until you patent it.
Before your idea gets stolen. Now I want you to take it out because I want our viewers to see what we're talking about this morning. Now, initially, if you can just put it all out, this is what you would have had to tote in your bag. All right? So, see the length of it? We're talking about just about 3 feet?
It's 42 inches in length.
Okay.
But when it's folded, it's 14 inches.
Wow. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. And like I said, the last time you and I chatted, there was not a calculator on that.
No, there was a calculator.
There was a calculator on it?
Yeah, there were calculators.
One of the first ones?
Yes. No, the first one did not have the calculator. But the one that I brought to studio had a calculator on it.
Okay. But this is very different from what I saw.
Yeah, because that was wooden. The measurement was taped on. It was a plastic finish taped on to that ruler. That's a ruler that I won special prize in the Prime Minister's invention with.
And I mean, you've certainly upgraded. You've certainly upgraded.
Yes.
So I want you to hold it up here because we want to see it. And then you and then you'll just open him out. That's right. And I guess if you are in the field of dressmaking, wow, it folds both ways.
360 degrees.
Now she's really showing it off this morning. She's really showing off this morning.
Yes, it's really.
And tell us how has, what sort of reaction have you gotten from the...
Oh, people love it. People love it. People love it. They just love it. And the material...
It's made life easier for them.
Yes, and the material is excellent.
Right. And it's light. It's lighter than...
It's a little more weightier than the normal ruler, but it's better because it stays firm on the fabric.
What does it allow the seamstress to do? Because I realized
it allows it to draft. You can draft. This is the L shape, the normal L shape that we are accustomed to.
Right.
Right. So then it can extend right down to.
Right.
If you want to draw right down to this extent. If, for instance, you only want to use the hip, you can fold it up and you can even turn it below and you can use the hip line. If, for instance, you want to use a smaller hip line, you can open it and you could use this hip line.
That's the groove on the inside.
Yeah, the groove on the inside. This is another hip line. And this is the armhole curve. So you can open it up and you can draft in the armhole. And if, for instance, you want to calculate like 1/3 as we did the last time, Rhea, you can calculate right here.
Okay.
Because many times we go to our phones for calculation. But if you have the tool right there, you just calculate
Readily
one time.
Readily available.
And when you're drafting, if, for instance, you don't need to use the whole ruler, like say you want to draw just a straight line, you can now close it up.
There you go. Line. And this time around, it comes with its own carrying case.
Own carrying case.
All right.
Makes it so comfortable that you can now put your book here, and you put your ruler, and there's a space that you can put pencils or whatever you want.
Of course, you need a pen or pencil to write.
Right.
When you take your measurements.
So.
There you go. And how can persons contact you here? Because I don't want us to run out of time without... How can they contact you?
They can contact me. Factory in Trinidad is selling the rulers.
Wow.
And then I will be on Facebook. You can message me on Facebook. I will be selling there.
And what's your name on Facebook?
Udazzle Fashion Limited. And it's sold in Denmark. So people in the European side can get it through Meida. Well, it's going to be on the website.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations again to you. Really making some headways here, and putting not only yourself but Tobago on the map.
Yes. Yes. It's always my dream to put Tobago on the map because I believe that women can do it. Because I remember 2018, there was Women in Invention and Innovation, and they had asked for women all around the world, and I was one of 10 women chosen to speak to women about invention and innovation, because there are less women. 1/3 of inventors are women, 2/3 are men.
Well, you're certainly putting us out there.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on the program with us this morning, Mrs. Jack. And this is Runa Eastman Jack, seamstress and entrepreneur. Viewers, we encourage you this morning to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Yes.
Oh gosh, man, your belly. Oh gosh, oh gosh, man, your belly. Oh gosh, man, your belly. Man, your belly. Madness. Oh gosh. Yes, my brother. Burn your belly.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. This is the Tobago Updates morning show. We're coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. We are in this final segment. You know, we got to get in some shout outs to our viewers online.
That's right.
But just before we go there, we want to remind them this is a big week for us, Ria.
Definitely.
This is a big week. What's happening in this week, Ria, on Tobago Updates?
Well, some of what's happening this week. We've got our Tobago Updates newscast from 7:30. Yeah, from 7:30 later this evening. And then coming up on Wednesday morning, Julian, we've got an interesting show for our viewers.
So we're going to start up on Wednesday. We're having the Tobago Updates Morning Show Youth Edition with Dwayne and Aaliyah. I'm already excited, viewers. They're in studio this morning, and I'm already excited for Wednesday's edition as we start Youth Wednesdays here, coming for the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And then later on in the evening, we have news at 7:30 again on Wednesday.
Definitely.
And at 8 p.m., what awards do we have?
The Boo Boo Awards. Now, this is one of the first for Tobago Updates, but it's going to be pretty exciting. I think once you have an exciting host and some good content, you are ready to go. So we are going to be having the Boo Boo Awards.
And then on Friday morning, folks, we have the show coming to you live from the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport out there at Glen Road. So we look forward to that segment. And after our show from 7 to 8, at 9 a.m., we go live at the Division of Community Development for the Thanksgiving service. And then you're back with us in the evening at 7:30 for news again on Friday. So we really want to encourage you to tune in. Tobago Updates, Ria. It's the only place to be.
That's right.
All right.
Everything else is just seconds.
Certainly. Ria, and thanks so much for the support that's coming through our viewers. And so we really want to express thanks to each and every one of you. And in fact, viewers have started reminding me, you're not just the Tobago Updates morning show. You are number one. Real viewers have started to remind us of that as well. So we really want to thank you all so much for the continued love and support. We see on the live here this morning, Siobhan Stewart Allen. Yes, Ria. And Siobhan also celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday, Siobhan. I think it would have been over the weekend. We were at a family gathering. A family gathering, last Friday and so on, in terms of a passing and condolences to their family. My very good friend, Katisha George, and the entire family down there. As I say when I visit there, it's not just about a friendship, it's family. So one of her aunts, Aunt Queenie, would have passed away, and we want to express condolences to the family. So I would have visited then, and even in the midst of it, Siobhan took the opportunity to remind me, hey, my birthday coming up, So certainly we want to send out birthday greetings to you, Siobhan. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Arlene Job Thomas has joined the live. I'm sure she heard her name call on Friday.
Always happy, always happy
she's
to have her.
enjoying the show and wishing us a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining in, Arlene. I'm seeing Aldit Cowan, Jonelle Williams, Jalen Joseph. Who else you seeing on the live there?
I like you. Delma Sandy, Aldit Cowan. I've got Landon Phillips.
You see that last comment that just came in? Is that our Anike?
Oh no, that's not no. This is a Nikkei Grey. Our
Nikkei Grey.
Yeah,
Right.
we've got a Nikwa.
That's
yes,
right. And you know that song resonates no matter what. But we're still shouting out.
We're still shouting out.
Morning.
Very quickly, her two birthday greetings to Akisha Ashby, one of my daughters. Akisha Ashby celebrated her birthday over the weekend. Happy birthday going out to you, Lovey. And to Hermes Kent, happy birthday going out to you, darlings. So have a great day.
And Rhea, you know, I also want to shout out on the live with us this morning, loyal supporters, Lisel James, Latoya Anderson, Teresa Allen, QK, Melville. Yes, Rhea, I also bounced up on QK. You know how many people I met on this north side run? You see why it's good to enjoy your Tobago space? QK says, I'm tuned in, Julian, even when I'm exercising on a morning. So QK, I know you're probably busy exercising, but morning shout outs to you again. Thank you for tuning in to the Tobago Updates morning show.
All right, one of these weekends when I shut down, I'm going to make it over to north side again. All right, I'm going to leave it there. So Tobago, have a really wonderful day today. We encourage you to stay safe. Remember, students going out there, wear your mask. Please, parents, please, teachers, emphasize that they wear their mask. They sanitize and they socially distance. So do it like this. Wear your mask, sanitize, and socially distance.
Bye-bye.
Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning.